35. Sniper Trap. The sniper trap is as cold and ruthless as it sounds. Instead of shooting to kill, the sniper shoots to wound an enemy soldier. Why? Because a dead soldier is gone, but a wounded soldier screams for help, and when his comrades rush in to drag him back or provide first aid, they unknowingly walk right into the sniper's field of fire. Suddenly, instead of one easy target, there's a whole cluster of them. 34. Flanking. Instead of going straight at the enemy, you move around and attack their side, which is usually less defended. It causes confusion and can even cut them off completely. 33. Ambush. The ultimate surprise attack. Troops hide in forests, mountains, or cities, wait for the right moment, and then strike suddenly when the enemy isn't expecting it. This tactic has been used for centuries by guerrilla fighters, resistance groups, and even medieval armies. 32. Mouseholing. In urban fights, running on streets is deadly, so soldiers blast holes in walls to move from building to building without being exposed outside. 31. Foxholes. Simple but life-saving. A foxhole is a small dugout where soldiers can hide, rest, and fire from cover. Usually 2 men share one so they can watch each other's backs. Camouflage on top of it makes it nearly invisible. Germans sometimes fitted turrets into them, while Japanese foxholes were so small only 1 man fit inside. 30. Feigned Retreat. One of the oldest tricks in the book. Pretend to run away, lure the enemy into chasing, and then suddenly counterattack. The Mongols use this brilliantly, but it's risky. If the troops aren't disciplined, they might turn a fake retreat into a real one. 29. Trench raiding. World War I was brutal, and trench raids were even worse. Small squads sneaked into enemy trenches at night, killed sentries quietly, threw grenades into bunkers, and escaped with prisoners or documents. 28. Oblique Order. Instead of smashing straight ahead, an army lines up at an angle. One side stays back, while the other side throws everything at a weak point. 27. Recon by fire. Don't know if the enemy is hiding in that tree line? Just shoot at it. If they're there, they'll shoot back, and now you know where they are. It's risky and can waste ammo, but sometimes information is worth more than bullets. 26. Hold down position. Tanks are deadly machines, but they're also giant targets. That's where the hold down position comes in. A tank moves behind a hill or a ridge, exposing only its gun barrel to the enemy. It's harder to hit them, but there's a downside. If they suddenly need to attack, they're stuck aiming uphill, which exposes the softer underbelly of the tank. Still, it's one of the classics that's used even till today. 25. Defense in depth. Defense in depth, also called elastic defense, is a military tactic where the goal isn't to completely stop the enemy right away, but to slow them down little by little. Instead of relying on one strong front line, defenders set up several layers of defense. As the enemy pushes forward, each layer makes them fight harder, spreads them out, and drains their energy. By the time they break through, they're worn out and much easier to counterattack. 24. Single Envelopment. This tactic involves distraction and surprise. A decoy force attacks from the front, while another force quietly swings around and attacks the enemy rear. Suddenly, the enemy finds themselves attacked from 2 directions, cut off from reinforcements and supply lines. 23. Pincer Movement. One of the oldest and most famous strategies in history. The enemy charges your center, but instead of collapsing, your wings swing around like claws. The enemy is surrounded, fighting on all sides with no way out. Hannibal used this at the Battle of Cannae in 216 BC to annihilate the much larger Roman army. 22. Crossing the T. A naval tactic where one line of ships sails across the front of another. The horizontal line of ships can fire all their guns, while the vertical line can only respond with their front cannons. It's about maximizing firepower and minimizing return shots. 21. Salvo. The salvo is a naval tactic that's all about shock and overwhelming firepower. Imagine 2 battleships facing each other. Instead of firing 1 cannon at a time, every single gun fires simultaneously. The explosions are terrifying. The splashes in the water help measure distance, and the enemy has less time to react. This method was particularly powerful in World War I and World War II, before missiles replaced traditional gunfire. 20. Anvil and Hammer. One force pins the enemy in place, the anvil, while the other force smashes into them from behind or the side, the hammer. Alexander the Great perfected this move centuries ago. 19. Cavalry Charge. A cavalry charge is when soldiers on horseback rush straight at the enemy with speed and force. The goal is to smash through their lines, scare them, and throw everything into chaos. In old battles, this move worked because the power and momentum of dozens or even hundreds of horses charging together could overwhelm and scatter enemy troops in seconds. 18. Strategic bombing. Instead of targeting soldiers, strategic bombing targets a nation's ability to fight. Factories, bridges, railroads, even cities. The idea is to break the enemy's economy and morale. It was brutal in World War II. Dresden, Tokyo, and London all felt its devastation. 17. Close Air Support, or CAS for short. Planes and helicopters assist ground troops directly. They destroy tanks, artillery, and fortifications threatening soldiers on the ground. The A-10 Warthog is a classic example. CAS requires perfect coordination to avoid friendly fire, but when done right, it saves lives and turns the tide. 16. Swarming. Instead of one big attack, multiple small units hit the target from different directions at once. This overwhelms defenses and causes chaos. In modern times, drones are the perfect swarming weapons. 15. Flying Wedge. An ancient favorite, soldiers march in a triangle formation, breaking enemy lines like a spear. Police riot squads still use this for control and visibility. 14. Convoy System. In naval wars, merchant ships traveled in groups with warship escorts. During World War I and World War II, this protected vital supplies from submarines. Without convoys, entire nations could have starved. 13. Air Interdiction. Instead of hitting soldiers directly, you bomb supply routes, bridges, and reinforcements before they even reach the battlefield. It's like cutting the enemy's legs out before they start running. 12. Bait and Bleed. Now this one's sneaky. You trick two enemies into fighting each other, wasting their strength. Once they're weakened, you step in and finish the job. 11. Smoke Screening. Smoke screening is a tactic where armies use clouds of smoke to block the enemy's view. It hides troops' movement, shields attack, or covers retreats, making it hard for opponents to aim or respond. 10. Blitzkrieg. The infamous German Blitzkrieg of World War II. Lightning War. Instead of grinding through the front, Germany used concentrated forces in an arrow formation. Tanks in the front, infantry right behind, artillery on the flanks, and aircraft overhead. The goal was to smash through lines, cause chaos, and never give defenders time to breathe. 9. Skirmishers. Light troops sent ahead of the main army. They harass, delay, and weaken the enemy before the main force arrives. Think of them as the opening act before the main show. 8. Withdrawal. A tactical retreat, but not the same as running away. Withdrawal is organized and deliberate. It saves troops from being surrounded, lets them regroup, and sets the stage for a comeback. 7. Night Comeback. Night Comeback is all about using darkness to an army's advantage. Soldiers rely on stealth, careful maneuvers, and tools like night vision equipment to fight effectively when visibility is low, turning the night into a tactical weapon. 6. Defensive Positioning. Defensive positioning is all about turning the battlefield into a shield. Armies build strongholds, bunkers, and trenches, or take advantage of natural terrain like hills, rivers, and forests. The main goal is to make it as difficult as possible for the enemy to advance. A well-chosen defensive position forces attackers to fight uphill battles, wear themselves out, and waste valuable resources. 5. Tank Desant. In this tactic, infantry ride on tanks until reaching the battlefield. Once there, they dismount and protect the tanks from anti-tank weapons. Dangerous, but effective for combined assaults. 4. Shoot and Scoot. Shoot and Scoot, also known as Fire and Move, is a life-saving tactic for artillery crews. The idea is simple. Set up, fire at the target, and then move out before the enemy can figure out where the shots came from. Staying in one spot too long is dangerous because enemy artillery or aircraft can quickly fire back at the location. 3. Marching Fire. Marching fire, also called walking fire, is a tactic where infantry move forward while firing non-stop to keep the enemy pinned down. The goal is to stop defenders from firing back, giving attackers a chance to move in. 2. Center Peel. The center peel is a clever military defense tactic used when a smaller group is outnumbered and needs to retreat without being wiped out. Instead of everyone running at once, soldiers take turns falling back while others keep firing to hold the enemy's attention. 1. Scorched Earth. It's a military tactic where an army destroys everything useful in the area, like food, water, animals, crops, tools, and buildings, so the enemy can't use them. Russia used this against Napoleon and later against Hitler, burning crops, railroads, and towns so invaders starved in the freezing cold. So what do you think? Which tactic impressed you the most? Drop your answers in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe and ring the bell for more such content.